You know the Phillies won the pennant in '50. They had four major pitchers: Robin Roberts, Kurt Simmons, Bubba Church, and Miller. Bubba Church's real name was Emery. Ted Kluszewski was the first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. He was a big husky guy. So Bubba Church is pitching to Kluszewski. Kluszewski hits a line drive right in his eye.
Oh.
So he's out of action for a couple of weeks, but he was okay eventually. But he was out of action for a couple of weeks. Then Kurt Simmons gets drafted by the Army because he was draftable age. So now we're down to two pitchers. And as you know, Robin Roberts pitched all 10 innings of the game where they beat the Dodgers and won the championship. But who's going to pitch the first game of the World Series? Because they're two pitchers down. So he goes to the bullpen. He picks his bullpen pitcher, the reliever, Jim Constanti. He has a friend who's an undertaker, and he's taught him a pitch that made him very successful. So he's pitching against Vic Raschi in the first game of the World Series. And Bobby Brown, who coincidentally is also a doctor, a medical doctor, he reaches the bat out, it hits the ball, it flies to left, drops in, a run scores, and that's the only run of the game. Vic Raschi shut them out, and we lost that World Series game. The next game, Robin Roberts pitches again, and it's tied 1-1 into the 10th innings. So he throws the ball, and as this old man hits a home run. What's his name? Joe DiMaggio.
Oh.
And from then on, they lost the World Series.
So the Yankees defeated the Phillies in the World Series.
Oh, okay. The next year, they had a sort of an off year. Then 1952.
Right.
There's the Phillies, and there's the Philadelphia Athletics.
Oh.
The Philadelphia Athletics were talking about moving out of town because they weren't making any money. The Phillies, having won the pennant, were very popular. So the Athletics had a little short guy, 5'2", Bobby Shantz. Well, in '52, he won 22 games. Robin Roberts for the Phillies won 26 games.
Wow.
So the sports writers who vote for the most valuable player, they voted Bobby Shantz the most valuable player in the American League. The National League, Roberts didn't get it. But this is the most wins a guy's had in 30 years, and they didn't make him the most valuable player.
What?
Because some of the sports writers that vote say the most valuable player is an everyday player. It can't be a pitcher. And since they had this in their head, they didn't vote for him. Bobby Shantz gets the most valuable player, and he pitched for the A's, a bad team, but he won 22 games. And Robin Roberts got cheated out of it. They realized the guy wins 26 games, he should be the most valuable player.
Yeah.
They said, what are you going to do? 2 years later, they introduced the Cy Young Award.
I was going to guess that.
Yeah. So now you have an award for the pitchers and the MVP for the players.
Nice.
Robin Roberts never won the Cy Young Award.
Oh, no.
He won 20 games a lot, but he never won the Cy Young Award, even though it was made to offset the cheating, when he was cheated out of the MVP.
Right.
26 wins, nobody gets that much.
So what's the moral of the story?
Vote your conscience. Follow the rules. Even though you say, I don't believe that a pitcher should get the MVP, if the pitcher is the most valuable player, then he should get the MVP. But a lot of the, as I say, sports writers made up their own mind.
Right.
All right.
Well done. And
That's it. That's the end of the stories. Or a couple years later, the A's moved to Kansas City. Well, they were unhappy there, so now they moved to Oakland. But now they're going to move from Oakland to Sacramento. So the A's are bouncing around. And meanwhile, Philadelphia now only has one team.
Yeah.
Chicago has two. Boston Braves moved to Atlanta, so they've only got one. And New York, two teams moved to California. So they built up a new team in New York, the Mets. That was a new team.
What were the two New York teams that moved to California?
The Dodgers and the Giants. San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers were both New York teams.
Ah.
Oh.
They were called the Brooklyn Dodgers.
And the Brooklyn Giants.
No. New York
Giants.
Giants, Brooklyn Dodgers.
Okay.
And now it's the New York Mets and the New York Yankees.
And that's why when referring to the football team, people say the New York Football Giants.
Yes.
Because you used to have to distinguish which Giants, New York
That's
Giants
correct.
team you were talking about. Is that correct?
Yes. And now. You can shut it down because
Okay.
that's the story. There's no more stories.